Mike, don't stop. Okay, you're the heart. Okay, remember that. You're the heart.
No, Mike is not the heart of the series. Not anymore. He didn't do jack shit the whole season, including you and Jonathan too. Y'all didn't do anything in this whole season. It's like writers forgot you guys even existed and only used you when they needed to. Hopper feels more of a heart of the series now than anyone. Heck, even Winona Ryder is more of a heart of the series now than Mike. He just said that because Mike was the only one there. I mean, like, what happened to this show? For more about this, stay tuned after the ad break. Do you enjoy clicking on buttons? Do you enjoy clicking on multiple buttons? Are you seeing all the buttons on your screen but getting confused where to start? Well, you're in luck. You came to the right place. You can start by clicking the like button if you enjoy the content. And then if you want more, you can click the subscribe button next. And if you're feeling freaky, you can also click on the bell icon that you see on the sub button. So what are you waiting for? Start clicking those buttons right now, because it makes you happy and it makes me happy. It makes everybody happy. Start clicking now, right now. Clicking investments are subject to market risk. Read all documents carefully and know that the YouTuber thinks you are awesome.
The uncooler has a fresh, clean, natural fragrance. Marvelous. The smell of success is never too sweet.
I have so many frustrations with this season. I tried to put off watching the season because I was already done after season 3. And the contrast between the end of the world and Dustin having to sing for his girlfriend.
The mirror of your dreams. Make believe I'm everywhere.
And don't even get me started on that one. It already felt like the Duffer brothers were stretching the story at that point, and this season makes it worse. Before I get started on the problems, let me mention few of the things that I did like. I thought that the new addition of Joseph Quinn as Eddie Munson was great. He acted well and he was a sympathetic character in a fun, quirky way. I thought David Harbour, Winona Ryder were great. Meanwhile, Millie Bobby Brown and most of the usual gang acted well, especially Dustin and Steve. Can't say the same about Finn Wolfhard. I don't know what happened to this boy's acting coach, but ever since seeing him in the movie It, his acting skills are going on a downward trajectory.
Hey, remember that one summer we died under a table? What the fuck?
Positives. The season was well directed, like it usually is. I thought some of the visuals were great, except Millie Bobby Brown's de-aged, deep-fake kid face, which looked uncanny as hell. See my frustration with this season? God, what else? Ooh, the set designs were great, and also the sound design was good as well. And that's pretty much it. Now on to the fun part. Well, fun in a way that passing a stone through your body is fun, or maybe therapy to get it all out, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start with my main gripe. Padding. My lord, the padding in this season. Whenever you hear that the last installment of a series is going to be divided into parts, it's never good. The first part always feels padded, and it's not different here. They just cranked it to 11. Huh? Get it? Get it? Get it? Cause her name is 11? Those that when I'll be here all week, thanks. The way you know if they are padding an installment is if they introduce new characters, give them lots of screen time, and when you look back after finishing the series, you can just remove them entirely and the ending will not be affected one bit. Case in point, remember the girl who was bullying 11 in the beginning? And that storyline, 11 hit her so hard that we never saw her or any member of the whole group back in the series. In fact, the bullying in this season is so bad. Like, are you telling me that everybody in that school, literally every single person was an asshole except Will and the teachers? Even on the public ice skate rink, where anybody from the town could join there, everybody was an asshole to 11. Not even one person was like, maybe we shouldn't be laughing, and instead helping the person getting bullied. The show doesn't know how to asshole properly. Even the jock guy and the whole storyline with him, did anything happen with that storyline? If you remove him and all the jocks, would the ending really change that much? He even died as soon as he wasn't even needed to pad the story. At the end. Jesus, that is not it. This season has not one asshole group, not two asshole group, but three in total. Remember the kids? 2 through 10, all assholes? Yes, even the kids. I don't care. I'm so angry with that whole storyline. It took so long for them to show us what really happened at the lab that even the long man would blush. I'm not even kidding. We have scenes of driving to the facility from like 50 miles outside to all the way inside. And then when she gets captured, Eleven's whole routine of waking up, putting on that stupid suit, floating in Nina, the experiment container machine device, whatever that was, reliving through a whole day of her past, the nose bleeding, and getting pulled out from the experiment and passing out, and repeating the whole process times 5. I'm not kidding, it might be even more than that. And that brings me to another one of my frustration, and that is, in every season of Stranger Things, the whole season they give 11 to do something else, while the normal people do the investigation for the new threat from the Upside Down. And they bring her back only at the end, all Super Saiyan up, when the normal people are in a pinch, and after some words of encouragement, she defeats the threat, and everything goes back to normal after that. It's so annoying. And Duffer Brothers, don't think that we don't see the nods to 11 being a Christ character in this season, especially with the second rebirth in a sense, and her floating in water in a really familiar pose. Okay, enough about the assholes and padding. You get the gist. This season they introduced a new thing, which I thought was really creative, and then abandoned it as soon as they introduced it, without any further explanation. So around the mid-season, Dustin figures out about the gate in the lake. The gang comprising of Nancy, Robin, Eddie and Steve go to check out the water gate. Steve gets pulled and the whole gang dives to the other side to help him. After fighting some hellbats, they try to find some weapons to fight back the flock. They go to Nancy's house where she hid her gun that she had in the normal version of the world, figuring that the Upside Down is just a copy of the real world, so all the things should be there the same as the real world. It's just a different dimension. But when they search for the guns, they don't find them, because the Upside Down, it's actually a copy of the world few years in the past. Great concept. Like, holy shit. Who knew that the Upside Down was not only a different dimension, but in a different time as well. And not just that, it is from the time when the season 1 started. They could do so many things with it, and it is shown as such a huge reveal as well. But then they don't go anywhere with it. They don't even explain why it is few years in the past, or if it has always been that way. Maybe it was in sync before, but when 11 opened the gate in season 1, the time froze there. But I can't think of why that would be, because they don't explain it and almost immediately abandon it, and sometimes even contradict it. For example, apparently the Upside Down has one-way sound communication. People in Upside Down can hear voices of people in the same place in the normal world, even though they are in different time. What? Huh? They can also communicate back by moving their hands in a magical field around the electrical lights, and it reflects in the real world years later. Feels like the writers are making it up as they go along, because in one of the previous episodes, the gang follows Vecna in the real version of the house to find out how he attacks, and they talk all that time, so Vecna should be able to hear them, but it still goes on killing, showing them how to take him down later. It makes no sense. And talking about Vecna, I thought this would be a really cool villain, like everybody was talking about when the season launched. And oh boy, were my expectations crushed like a can. Vecna is no mastermind or a 5-star general of the Mind Flayer army. He's just a dumbass with tentacle fetish. He was introduced as a badass enemy in the first episode, and by the time the season ended, he ran away with his tentacles between his legs. Even the way he walked, we could see the guy under the makeup and all the prosthetics and bodysuit to make him look like Vecna, struggling to move properly. I guess the showrunners thought that having that kind of restrictions on the actor's movement would sell Vecna's burned body, and I would understand that, but then they put all the CGI goo on his body, implying that Vecna should be able to move properly, but the actor couldn't, and it all resulted in his physical presence looking really lame for me. I don't know about you. Imagine if Josh Brolin was acting in a prosthetic suit of Thanos and not in a movement capture suit. Movement capture suit, where he moved like Vecna. He wouldn't be able to show his physical presence like he did as Thanos. I can understand the budget restrictions, but then don't put CGI over the body anyway, implying that your antagonist could move but just chooses to walk like that for some reason. I've got one more. In the end, the crew figures out the way to take down Vecna by attacking his physical form in the upside down when he's in the middle of an attack and he's in a vulnerable state. So the team of Steve, Dancy and Robin go to the mansion while he's in that state. They get captured, choked by the tentacles for what I thought like hours before they are saved by 11. I thought, but okay, maybe the time works differently in the upside down, whatever. After they get free from the tentacles, they go to the room with Vecna, and I for sure thought their plan was for them to axe his head off. They even have this conversation before they made the plan. And Mofo Steve was carrying the axe all this time. But what do? They throw Molotov cocktails on his body, and then Nancy shoots him down the window. And I'm like, these guys are stupid. Why did they think that would work? They all knew that he was somewhat immortal. Vecna is like a virus. They say that the whole season. You can't kill it that easily. Speaking of Vecna again, he has all the power when he's not in that mind hunting mode, right? Why did he walk slowly towards the Vecna killing team even after he was out of that mode? He should have almost unlimited power at that point, right? But he just chose to get bombarded by Molotovs and then chose to get shot. Like, that's a 5-star general of Mind Flayer's army getting defeated by normal kids in his own realm, even when he's not vulnerable. Is that the kind of villain I want to see come back for another season? The Duffer Brothers think so. And I didn't even talk about the whole Russian side plot and that one Russian guy, Yuri. Did anyone think his jokes were funny? If the joke is that his jokes are not funny, don't do it like hundreds of times. It gets annoying super fast. I know, cause I make those unfunny jokes. I'm done. I could go on about my frustration on this season for hours, but now I want to know what you thought about this season. Things you liked, things you didn't like. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more content and share the video with the people who might enjoy it. Really helps out the channel. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Second act out.